Hello, Bronco fans and football fans alike. Welcome to Week 9 pregame against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown. Before I get started, I'm gonna give you an update on the COVID. Both John Elway and Joe Ellis tested positive for the virus. They have been negative since their testing, which was on Monday. So that's good news. On the injury report, Glasgow is out for this game. He's not cleared to play, so he's definitely out. That hurts Denver, but it's nothing we can do about it. On the good side, though, Philip Lindsay with his toe and Bryce Callahan with his hamstring, both are going to be active for the game. They both had a good practice on Friday this morning. They've done well. Yesterday was a slow walkthrough. They didn't have practice because of the virus issues, so they pushed their practice to today, Friday. Jake Butt, however, was put on IR, and so that just means that Albert O really has to step up, and he's going to be the main feature, obviously, as tight end with Jake Butt out. Okay, so that being said, let me get to analyzing this game. First off, the Denver Broncos record is 3-4. The Atlanta Falcons is 2-5. That still, to me, is a toss-up, and I'll get into the numbers as to why I feel it's a toss-up. First off, let's start with Atlanta. Atlanta, their defense is really fast. They move to the ball very well. They got speed on the outside edges, and that's going to be very difficult for Phil Lindsay when he runs the ball. Offense of the Broncos is going to have to open up holes. They're going to have to neutralize the speed of Atlanta if they possibly can. And Atlanta does stay with their assignments in their gaps. They very rarely get out of their gap assignment on defense, and they're especially tough against the run. But against the pass, they're susceptible. But that means that Drew Lock is going to again have to go through his progressions. He's going to have to read the defense. He's going to have to take what the defense gives him. He hasn't been able to do that for most of the year. However, he did seem to do that the last half of the third quarter and all the fourth quarter of the Broncos comeback against the Chargers last week. But that was last week. That's behind us. This is this week. And although the Falcons are 0-5 at home, means nothing. Means absolutely nothing. And the reason why, again, it's in the past. And just like the Broncos were 0-3 at home, and they got a home win last week. So it means nothing because Atlanta has not won a home game. They may be even more hungry now because they haven't won a home game. Atlanta, they're very, very talented on offense. Atlanta has key receivers. They have Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, and both are averaging 15.3 and 15.4 respectively per reception. Now, if Denver cannot cover Ridley and Jones, Matt Ryan's going to have a field day all day long. And that means that Callahan definitely, not sure if he's going to be on Ridley or if he's going to be on Julio Jones, but I would dare say he'd probably be on Julio Jones. Okay, well, if you stop Atlanta's run game, they're not averaging that well on the run, but they don't need to with receivers like Jones and Ridley. So Denver really has to step up on their back end of their defense, on their corners, on their safety. They really have to step up. Atlanta's a strange team. Are we going to get the Atlanta Falcons that beat the Vikings handily, or are we going to get the Falcons that blew a game against the Lions? I'm not sure which Falcons team we're going to see, but I do know that I doubt seriously that we're going to see the Falcons team that lost to the Lions. I think we're going to get the Falcons team that played the Vikings and played them tough, especially in Minnesota. Here's a number for you. The Atlanta Falcons are averaging 26 points a game. Now the Denver Broncos are averaging 26 points to the other team. So if Atlanta's averaging 26, Denver's averaging giving up 26 points a game. So basically I could say that Atlanta's going to score 26. I mean, taking those numbers, that to me, I'll put 26 to Atlanta right now. That being said, Atlanta is giving up an average of 28 points a game, but Denver's only averaging 21.5 points a game. So if that holds true and Atlanta gets their 26 and Denver only gets, let's say, 21 or 22, Denver loses. But Denver did score 31 last week, but it was against a Charger defense that basically went to sleep in the last quarter. So I don't know what Bronco team we're going to see. Are we going to see the Bronco team that couldn't do anything right against Kansas City? And I'm not saying Atlanta is Kansas City, because they're not. Kansas City is Kansas City. Atlanta is Atlanta. But if Denver can somehow get 28 points that Atlanta is giving up per game, then Denver should be able to win this game 28-26. But again, are we going to? Atlanta did score 40 points against the Vikings, and yes, the Broncos did score 31 against the Chargers, but that's still a 9-point difference against Denver's favor. So if you give Atlanta the 40 points that they scored against Minnesota, you give Denver the 31 points that they scored against the Chargers, Denver loses. So I don't know which way this is going to go. I know that Denver's defense is a lot better than Minnesota's right now. And I also know that Atlanta's offense is not as good as 40 points a game. But Denver's defense is not as bad as 43 points a game that they gave up to the Chiefs. So, again, I don't know what direction this is going to go. I do know that both teams have struggled. Both teams have struggled at home. Denver is 1-3 at home, and Atlanta's 0-5 at home. So one of these teams is obviously going to come out with a win. Now, Matt Ryan is still Matt Ryan. He may not be having a great season this year, but Matt Ryan is still Matt Ryan. Now, what I see needs to happen in this game for Denver to win it. Denver needs to slow down Matt Ryan, take away Ridley and Jones, neutralize them. Don't let them average 15.3 and 15.4 yards a catch. Neutralize them, keep them in front of you, keep their catch yardage to a minimum, and the Broncos definitely need to put pressure on Ryan. We need to have Shelby Harris in the game. Now, Shelby Harris may be playing in this game. We don't know. He's coming off of COVID protocol, and if he tests negative today and he tests negative tomorrow, he'll be able to play in Sunday's game. So that's still up in the air. We need Shelby Harris. If we don't have him, it's going to be a struggle for the Broncos pass rush to get to Matt Ryan. Now, the Broncos' defense against the run has been stellar. They've really been well against the run. But again, they need to keep Matt Ryan in the pocket. They need to neutralize the receivers in Ridley and Jones, and they need to confuse Ryan. Now, Vic Fangio has done that. He did that last week. He made adjustments at halftime, and the Broncos came out and played much better against the Charger team that had racked up a 24-3 lead. He kept them to only 6 points after that, 2 field goals. The Broncos can't wait until midway through the third quarter to do that against Atlanta. Atlanta's a much better team. They have a much better quarterback, and they have outstanding receivers. So that leaves me with this. The Broncos are going to need to run the ball. I know the Atlanta defense is very, very tough against the run, but Denver's going to have to keep trying to run the ball and establish the run so that can open up the receivers. Albert O needs to have a big game as tight end. We need to have KJ Hamler has to have a big game. We have to have productivity across the board. The offense needs to play tough and keep on the field, stay on the field, move the ball, get first downs. We cannot afford too many 3-and-outs. If we have too many 3-and-outs, the game is over, because the Broncos cannot come back against the Falcons like they did against the Chargers. I just don't see that happening. So let me break it down to this. If, it's a big if Denver can play like they did in the fourth quarter, last half of the third quarter, all of the fourth quarter, throughout this game like they did in that little area, that little segment against the Chargers, they have a great chance of winning. If they play like they did the first 2.5 quarters of last week, if they play like that against the Falcons, it's over. They're not going to be able to come back against Atlanta. So, that being said, I look at it this way. Atlanta has not won this year at home. Denver is 2-3 on the road. I believe and feel in my heart that Atlanta is going to play tough in this game. They're going to want to win at home for the first time. They're not going to want to lose their 6th game at home. So, here's my prediction. I don't know which team Broncos are going to be. I don't know which team the Falcons are going to be. But I do know that Atlanta is dangerous with their receivers and Matt Ryan. So my final score prediction is Atlanta 24, Denver 20. I hate to say it, sad to say it, but that's how I see it. I don't see Denver scoring more than 20 points. And since Atlanta is averaging 26, it puts it right there. And Denver's averaging 21, so I put 20 right there as well. Again, Atlanta 24, Denver 20. That's how I see this game. I wish I could reverse it. I wish I could feel differently, but I don't. I hope I'm wrong. So I hope that the post game I have a better results than how I feel right now. That's it. That's my pregame analysis. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And we'll talk to you on Monday after the game. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye-bye.